What's up, punks? Welcome back to Dumpster Fire Philosophy. Today's episode is gonna be about my religion, what I believe. And just as a side note, this episode is almost completely unscripted. I do not have a script for this, so this is going to be random and unorganized, and I will fumble every sentence. Let me just get into this shit. So, first off, I could describe my religion with four different labels. Said labels being pantheism, omniism, Hellenic polytheism, and eclectic paganism. I know that makes no fucking sense when you hear it just straight up like that, but let me break this shit down. That's why I'm making a whole episode about this bitch. I'm going to start with the first two pieces, which are pantheism and omniism. Those are the two beliefs that are the foundation of my religion. And honestly, those are the things that make my religion as complicated as it is. So, freaking pantheism at its root means all is God. Pantheism can just be easily defined as the universe is God. Universe is omnipotent. It's everywhere. It's the force that shapes reality as we know it. And because of that, every part of reality, objects, living beings, experiences, thoughts, emotions, they're all sacred in their own way because they are a form of the universe, I guess. That part's really hard to wrap your head around. Um, there's no separate human like God in pantheism per se, like there would be in a religion like Christianity or Islam. It's not separate from us. It is us. It is everything. It's the creator, the controller, and the thing itself at the same freaking time. Like the painter, the paint, and the canvas. It's really complicated. It's hard to wrap your head around. I know, but yeah. And every part of reality is connected. Every action, thought, and feeling, it directly affects the rest of your reality. Um, and also, just as a side note, I do believe in fate, in destiny, and like being assigned a purpose at birth. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But for now, let me just focus on this part. By the way, the pantheism part is scripted because I couldn't find a better way to explain it without that. So, yeah, there's that little disclaimer. But anyway, because the universe created everything, controls everything and lies within anything, it takes on the form of everything and anything. It can even take on the form of other gods. This is where omniism comes into play. Omniism is the belief that every god that has ever been conceived or believed in by man is real. Every religion is the truth in its own way. What makes me an omnius is the fact that the universe takes on the form of anything, even other gods and deities. So technically, Christianity is real, but Islam is also real. But Hinduism is also real. Every single religion is the truth. And here is where my belief in fate and destiny come into play. I'm going to stop reading that script because this part's not even fucking on there. I'm going to be so honest. This was a script from a really old TikTok video I tried to make like a while ass back. I don't know where it is now, but it's whatever. So fate and destiny. So basically when you're born, you are destined to a certain life. Um, and don't think of it in a way that's like you are confined to the boundaries of this certain life and you can't break free. No, that's not how it works. This is also something that's really hard to wrap your head around, but I believe that the reason somebody is born into certain circumstances, or the reason somebody is born in a certain way, someone's born with certain passions and stuff, is because of their destiny. Like, some people are destined to be artists, some people are destined to be entrepreneurs. So, like, your current passions are a part of your destiny. You were naturally drawn to the things you're passionate about because destiny. I also believe that destiny determines which religion you end up following in your life. Um, for example, you know those Christians who seem to get everything they fucking want from Jesus Christ somehow? Those people were specifically destined for Christianity. But then somebody else who is not destined for Christianity ends up trying it out, and then they're like, dude, what the fuck is Jesus on? He ain't doing shit for me. That's me. I am an ex-Christian. I will get to that, like, at the end of this episode, but for now we're focusing on what I believe now. So, people are destined for a certain religion. They're destined for the religion that makes them feel the most fulfilled. So if you feel the most fulfilled in Christianity, if you feel the most fulfilled in Islam, you were destined for those religions. I feel most fulfilled with pantheism and eclectic paganism and omniism and Hellenic polytheism, all four of those freaking labels. So that's kind of what my destiny is. And yes, I did mischoose Christianity, but I'm out of that fucking religion. I hate that religion. Like not like the religion at its root, but just it is just not my cup of fucking tea. Especially not the way that Christians act nowadays. Like, whoo, these people really need some fucking Bible study. Because half the fucking Christians these days don't fucking follow the Bible to save their goddamn life. But yeah, let me shut up about how much I hate some Christians and get back to the actual fucking point. Yeah, so I think I explained my concept of destiny very well. Just I'm very good at explaining. Yes, totally. I am totally not absolutely fucking horrible at explaining shit, and I'm just rambling at this point. But come on, that's what this fucking podcast is about, dude. I just ramble into a microphone until I make sense. That's the fucking point of this damn podcast. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the Hellenic polytheism side of things. So, I believe that when it comes to my religion, the universe is the top dog, the big guy. I call her Mother Universe. If I am personifying the universe, I call her Mother Universe. Because God is a woman. I am a very good singer. Totally, totally. Anyway, so universe, top dog. But I also believe that, at least for me, the universe also takes on the form of the Hellenic gods in like certain fields of my life, I guess. Like, the universe takes on the form of Lady Aphrodite in matters of love and beauty, etc. Takes on the form of Ares, in matters of like strength, masculinity, aggression, because that's literally Ares' domains. I know he's typically described as the god of war, but I'm not a fucking soldier. I'm just a 17-year-old boy with an obsession with the gym, okay? Leave me alone. I'm fighting battles in my head. That's not gonna look good when I make the subtitles on this bitch. Okay, let me shut the fuck up. But anyway, if you were to ask me to explain why I worship the Hellenic gods, I actually couldn't fucking tell you. I don't know what it is. It's probably because it is a part of my destiny, but I just feel fucking drawn to them for some reason. I just can't describe why. I just feel drawn to the Hellenic gods. because they're just cool like that. And don't take that the wrong way. My worship and my love and devotion for them are genuine, but I cannot describe the deeper reason why I decided to involve them with my life in the first place. It's probably because that's just what I was destined to do. I don't know. I have to just like watch my destiny unfold before me because Mother Universe is ultimately the one in control. But for now, I can't fucking explain why I worship the Hellenic gods. I just fucking worship the Hellenic gods and the universe at the same time. That's the one thing that makes my religion super weird. Because if I didn't involve the Hellenic gods, I could just call myself a pantheist and be just fine. But my insatiable drawing to them, I guess, the the way that I just feel so called to worship the Hellenic gods, that's the one thing that makes my religion very hard to describe. And you know how in the beginning of the episode I said I could also describe myself as an eclectic pagan? Well, that's a pretty complicated one because eclectic paganism, at its root definition, is a paganism that is normally a mixture of other branches of paganism or other religions. Most the best example I could give is if somebody were to worship the Norse gods like Odin or whatnot, but also worship the Hellenic gods like Lord Apollo or something. If somebody were to worship Odin and Lord Apollo, they would be an eclectic pagan because they are a mixture of Norse paganism and Hellenic paganism. But my thing is a little bit weird because it combines pantheism, something that is separate from paganism, with a branch of paganism. So that makes things really weird. I mean, in the end, when somebody asks me what religion I believe in, if I need to give them a real quick answer, I just say eclectic paganism or I say pantheism. It depends on my situation. But if they ask me to go deeper, well, I'll probably just fucking show them this podcast episode because come on. It would probably be easier to do that than explain it to them up front. And I would probably get some boost to my podcast. I'm a dumbass. That's whatever. So now that I've explained what my religion is, what I currently believe in, this is the traumatizing part. This is the part where I lore dump. This is the part that comes with a motherfucking trigger warnings. And there's a lot of trigger warnings. Suicide, self-harm, mental hospitals, depression in every aspect, pretty much. I don't even know if you could put this as a trigger warning, but fuck it. Toxic romantic relationships, trad wife culture. I can explain, I swear. Anyway, enough with the freaking trigger warnings. First of all, I would like to explain that the reason why I say trad wife culture is because, and I hate to admit this because I really don't want transphobes in my comments. I'm a trans man. I do not have a Y chromosome. What a shocker! What a fucking shocker. The white boy that's making this dumb podcast doesn't actually have a penis. Wow. Trust me, if you asked my dad, he would fucking. Yeah, he would be happy to admit that I'm fucking delusional. Sorry to diss you like this on a podcast, Dad, but you're transphobic. Okay, whatever. Let me stop dissing my dad and let me actually get into the good shit. So, this is about Christianity, as you might have heard previously in the episode. So, this all starts when I'm about 15 years old in May of. Oh, fuck. Was it 2023? I feel like it's 2023. May of 2023. We're going to say that. I have no fucking time perception. I'm old, okay? I am the ripe age of 17 years old. I'm ancient. I've reached unk status, okay? Leave your man alone. So, um, I converted to Christianity in about late May of 2023 because at the time I was depressed as fuck. When I say depressed as fuck, I mean I probably had like at least I'd say I'd have to roughly say about 15 suicide attempts on my belt, maybe more, maybe less. I don't remember them all. A lot of them were just jumping in the street though, so I don't know if that number is even all that accurate. Whatever. Point is, I had a lot of freaking attempts on my belt. I had the red barcode arms. I had already been to the mental hospital twice by that time. Once in 2020, another time in 2022. So you get the idea. Was depressed as shit. And I was like just desperately looking for a way to take the pain away in a way that wasn't killing myself. And unfortunately, I stumbled upon Christianity. People told me that Jesus would take my pain away. So I said, you know what, fuck it. Fuck it. Jesus, I'm gonna start following your religion because I don't want to die anymore. I don't want to be suicidal anymore. I don't wanna die anymore, if that makes sense. And if I could go back to my 15-year-old self, I would punch her in the face. Yes, I said her because 15-year-old me was a woman. I am not now. So, anyway, 15-year-old me, converted to Christianity, hopping around, la-di-da-di day. I just started a new religion. Then I went into a mega church. I realized real fucking quick that these mega churches, there ain't a fucking hint of Jesus in there. Like, not an ounce of the Holy Spirit was in that bitch. So then obviously I went out of the mega church real fast. And I mean, honestly, I joined that megachurch's youth group at some point. I stopped going because, like, I left that particular church, and because I stopped having the opportunity to go because, uh, lack of a ride, I guess, because then, like, people in my family were more busy and shit. I don't fucking know. The point is, I couldn't drive. I still can't, by the way. So fuck me, I guess. Actually, please don't fuck me. I'd like to stay a virgin. Thank you. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. Um, in that youth group, it was honestly really fucking weird. I have very faint memories of the youth group shit, but all I know is that I was so indoctrinated already. Cause before I even started going to church, I saw a bunch of stuff on TikTok about the religion. That's honestly where I originally heard a lot of the gospel from. Because I mean, yes, I do live in the South, so pretty much everyone, their fucking mother, brother, sister is Christian, I guess. But they never really talked about the gospel with me. I heard the real gospel on TikTok. And you're probably sitting here fucking side eyeing your device right now, like, Ray, are you fucking serious? Yes, I am. And unfortunately for me, since I was on Christian woman TikTok, I was exposed to fucking trad wife culture. So I literally went in that youth group and scouted for boys I could potentially date. I'm serious. I went in that youth group, ripe age of 15 years old, and scouted for my future husband. Let that sink in. I am not proud of myself to this day. Honestly, if I could go back in time and look at my 15-year-old self in that youth group, I'd walk up to her ass and I'd fucking strangle her. Cause what the fuck? Anyway, so shortly after I joined that mega church, I realized there wasn't a single ounce of the fucking Holy Spirit in that bitch. So I left and joined a more traditional church. And I'm lucky I landed at the traditional church that I did because number one, it's only like an hour's walk away from my house. I mean, in my small town, you can't fucking walk anywhere. But honestly, I'm so used to walking for long periods of time so that if I was determined enough, I could have walked there. Honestly. And there was also some other smaller church that is within a even more reasonable walking distance, but I didn't make that my main church because it was like a super kaduber small church, and it is also a black church. I specifically remember the first time I went into that church because my parents wouldn't drive me to the other one. I went in there and I realized I was the only white person in there. And it is like they didn't like exclusively advertise themselves as a black church. I don't think it's not like no white people were allowed, but I was the only white person in there. But luckily, the people in that church were very welcoming and they didn't give a fuck. So let me stop yapping about that. The bigger church. It was pretty big, but had a very traditional vibe, and I actually had some fucking community in that bitch. But I joined their Sunday school, and oh my god, yet again, I scouted for a fucking future husband, and I found one. Well, at least that's what I thought at the time. And you want to know what? I'm gonna fucking drop names because why not? Why should I have to censor their names? I don't censor shit here. So his name was Daniel. Yup, Daniel. I'm not exposing his last name though because then that could actually make somebody look him up, and I'm not doing that. But yeah, I met this Daniel kid, and mind you, he is the same age as my brother, if not older. Mind you, my brother was born September 16th, 2006. Wish him a happy birthday, by the way. I'm recording this on September 16th. So wish my brother a happy birthday. He's 19 now, I think. But this Daniel guy was born May 4th, 2006. He was older than my older brother. And yes, that boy did like Star Wars, before you ask. So I talked to the guy. We talked for like a couple of fucking days. Originally, it was just gonna be a friendship, but nope. I fucking started dating him when I only knew him for a couple of fucking days. Great job, 15-year-old me. You just met a pedophile. I will explain why I say that later. But the start of the relationship, I had the usual honeymoon phase. You know, I was like all happy, lovey-dovey, like, oh, he's my future husband. But as the relationship progressed, things started getting a little creepy. Because number one, This hoe was so fucking clingy. Like, at the time, I was also really focused on like my school and stuff. I was, trying to lock in, get my grades up and shit, be an academic weapon. But it all kind of had to be bashed by this guy because he needs some fucking attention all the time. And he would always say that like he's deprived of female attention because his mom is dead. And I'm just sitting here now like, I'm sorry for your loss, but like, come on, you are exploiting a 15-year-old girl because your mom is dead. Why? Get a therapist, not a girlfriend. Anyway, so yeah, he was super fucking clingy. He like I would literally tell him, "Yeah, I'm going to go study cuz like I, have like a math test tomorrow and whatever." He would say, "Okay." And I would tell him specifically, "I'm going to text you when I'm done studying, but in the meantime, don't text or call me until I text you back. Cuz if you try to text and call me before I tell you I'm done, then your call is going to be declined because I am on do not disturb." And he said, "Okay." Then I put my phone on do not disturb, turn it off, put it somewhere else, get to grinding, and then when I'm done, I go back to my phone. 15 missed calls and 47 unread text messages. Let that sink in. I told this hoe not to call me and not to text me until I texted him back. And he still did. And you want to know what his excuse was? I miss you. Okay? Fucking. Okay? Fucking hug your pillow or some shit. Come on. But yeah, now, that is just kind of super weird in general. A 17-year-old relying on a 15-year-old for attention. But the real pedophile part comes in on our first date. Although nothing inherently sexual happened, I feel like if he didn't have the power of Christ or any control over his lust, I feel like it would have ended in a rape situation. But it didn't. I'm glad it did not end in rape. But it did end in some fucking coercion. And a lot of really nasty ass comments. And when I say nasty, I mean downright disturbing pedophilia shit. Because even though technically we were only like 2 years apart in the age gap or whatever, it's still fucking weird. Anyway, so our original plan was, I think it was like to go to the park and stuff, and then maybe like a little shopping spree. Cause this guy could fucking drive. This bitch was driving a fucking red Hyundai. Yes, I remember what fucking car he drove. And it was also a fucking mess too. I've realized that I think having a messy car is just an ick for me now because you'll piece it together much later. But I'm just gonna say the more important shit because I really don't want to get into details. But so first of all, when our date started, he said that we have to kiss on the lips on our date. I Looking back, I feel like it was more like an excitement thing. He was excited and didn't know how to fucking behave. Especially since he is autistic. But so the fuck am I. And even I know how to fucking behave. But I mean, then again, I can't necessarily say that because autism is a spectrum. But it was so fucking weird. You could have at least worded it like you could have worded it like a request, like, could we please have a kiss? That way, I am not. That way, it doesn't sound like fucking coercion. And it definitely was. Honestly, I can say that now because the first kiss on the list we had was very like light, kind of awkward. So I ended up feeling like I had to kiss him again later to make up for the fact that I'm a bad kisser. That wasn't the original reason. It was just like I don't fucking know, okay? But this is the part where it gets low key kind of sexual, but we didn't actually do any like physically sexual things. So, because of the whole kiss thing, he also wanted to cuddle me in his back seat of his car. And I mean, yeah, I kind of laid on his lap for a bit, nah, whatever. And then he asked to lay onto me. I'm like, all right then. Looking back at it now, I'm just like, bro's a bottom. But back then, I didn't like think like that. So I let him lay on me, and Lord have fucking mercy. I'm gonna need you to promise me that if you're drinking a drink, you won't spit your drink out from this. I need you to promise me that you are not going to audibly react if you are in public. If you're in private and you don't have a drink in your mouth, do what you want, but this man, 17-year-old man, has a driver's license, had a job, was telling a 15-year-old girl, no driver's license, who is in I believe I was in freshman year. Yeah, I think I was in freshman year. Ninth grade, 15-year-old girl. No driver's license, no job, no nothing. Telling her, your boobs are soft like a pillow. Let that sink in. And if you heard my phone vibrate in the background, please ignore that. Some fucking person's probably texting me on Discord again. But point is, nearly a grown ass man telling a kid who is just a year out of middle school that her boobs are soft like a pillow. At that point, you gotta wonder, is it the autism or just pure fucking lust? Cause, since I live in a small town, everyone knows everyone. And some of my friends already know this guy outside of, my anecdotes. And I had a conversation with these friends that know him, and their thing is that he's just severely autistic and socially awkward, and he doesn't know what to say, and he's bad at controlling his words. Which, I mean, I get that part, the not being able to control your words and being socially awkward, because I'm autistic. I fucking suck at socializing. You might think that I have a lot of fucking riz because I'm on a fucking podcast, for fuck's sake. But IRL, I'm a fucking mess socially. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. I can't riz someone up to save my life, even if I'm rizzing them up as a friend. That came out very weird. Point is, I can't keep a friendship. I can't keep a relationship because social skills are in the fucking gutter. But come on, man. Like, you gotta be in a very fucking lustful state of mind to make such a comment. Like, come on. Especially as a biological male, you need to fucking watch your mouth. And especially if you're in a relationship. Especially with a younger girl. I'm just saying, I feel like that was an act of perversion. I'm just saying. Like, ain't no way he said that just because he didn't know what else to say. Bro could have shut the fuck up, because that's what I did. I shut my ass up. Anyway, so after that whole date was done, I just felt fucking drained. Like, so incredibly drained. That's the first time I was ever able to actually identify the feeling as overstimulated. Because like normally before this I was never able to identify my feelings when I just feel randomly drained from no reason. But then that's when I unlocked the ability to figure out if I'm overstimulated or not. So yeah, I told him I was overstimulated. Cause a little other piece that's important is I was on Christian dating advice TikTok, and they said that I should not break up with my partner if I feel uncomfortable with them, or if I don't feel much love for them anymore, because apparently that's what makes most marriages fail or whatever. So I decided not to break up with him until like a month later. I want you to let that sink in for a minute. I dated this man for a whole month, or over a month. And the majority of that was only because I was too fucking scared shitless to break up with him, because I felt like I was being a bad wife or whatever. I wasn't even fucking married to this bitch. I wasn't fucking betrothed or engaged or nothing. Yet I still felt like I was his wife. Jesus Christ. This is making me want to grab 15-year-old me and just fucking punch her in the left titty. Yes, it has to be the left. Anyway, actually, maybe it should be the right titty, because apparently your heart is more towards the right of your body. I don't fucking know. I just feel like getting violent, because this situation genuinely pisses me off when I talk about it. But whatever. Moving on. So after that, I was single for a while until I met an old friend. Mind you, this old friend was a fucking juvie hall prisoner. Well, I mean, he wasn't actively in juvie hall. He was in juvie hall like years before this. And he was openly a sociopath and openly a narcissist. He's always talking about how he knows so much about psychology and manipulation, and oh, I'm a diagnosed sociopath. I'm diagnosed with NPD. And I'm just like, 15-year-old me! What the fuck? I dated that guy. He said he was Christian. He was acting like a fucking Catholic. So I dated him. And oh fucking brother, guy love bombed the ever loving fuck out of me. Talking about some we're engaged and stuff. He fucking quote unquote proposed to me a weekend. Even updated our Facebook statuses to say engaged. Crack a what? I mean, he was black, but I can't say that word, so we're just gonna say the white people version of it. I'm not racist, I swear. I say that all the time. I say crack a what all the time, so we're just gonna go with that. But, point is, this guy was acting like I was his wife from week one. Like, bro was talking about how many children we'd have together, where we were gonna move, what college he was gonna go to, me cooking and cleaning and raising the children, and all this la-di-da-di-da bullshit. And mind you, he had a messy car too. I mean, it wasn't his car, it was his dad's, because he was actually the same age as me. He's actually a month younger than me, which is a huge upgrade from 2 years older than me and nearly a grown ass man, by the way. But, I mean, honestly, the only good thing I can say about this guy is at least before we had our first kiss on the lips, he actually asked for it. He didn't say we have to, he asked. That's the only good thing I could say about this guy. And he was also a lot hotter than the other one. But he's still bad. Fucking love bombed the shit out of me. And then, like, mind you, I dated this guy for like 5 months. I think I started dating him December 2023, December 2023, and he broke up with me, and I'm gonna need you to not audibly react, but he broke up with me on my 16th birthday. May 5th, 2024, my 16th birthday. And he broke the fuck up with me. And you want to know why he did? I mean, he didn't actually directly say this, but we did get into an argument the week before because I was fucking annoying. So I can honestly assume that he broke up with me because I was annoying. Mind you, this is the same bitch that was calling me his wife and his fiance at week 1. So yeah, that's the whole dating gig of it. The reason why this is even relevant is because when I was Christian, I was so engulfed in trad wife culture to the point where I gave up my dreams to be a trad wife when I was older. I gave up my entire personality, my morals, my values, my interests, my passions, my personality, my music taste. I gave it all up to be a fucking trad wife. And the funniest part, through all of it, I still wanted to die. Let that sink in for a second. I converted to Christianity because I didn't want to be suicidal anymore. But it made me more suicidal. Yes, putting my mouth right up to the microphone was necessary, by the way. Because, come on, man. Anyway, back to the main story. So, after that breakup and stuff, I just, like, seriously lost my fucking faith. And instead of just deconverting like a normal person, I kept fucking begging and praying on my knees to Jesus Christ for him to give me my faith back, for him to do something to my life to make me love him again. Mind you, during this entire like over a year of being Christian, I had prayed and begged and cried on my knees for hours, multiple times, for Jesus to take my suicidal thoughts away, for Jesus to make me feel okay again. And fuck, dude, I even prayed that Jesus would give me a heart attack in my sleep. Like, I'm not even kidding. I specifically remember one of my prayers. I said, Jesus, if you can't take away my suicidal thoughts, just kill me in my sleep and let this be over. Let that sink in. I, a quote unquote devout Christian, asked Jesus if he can't take my suicidal thoughts away, then he can just kill me. He did neither, by the way. Obviously, I'm still here and I'm telling the story. But yeah, Christianity fucking ruined my life. I know it seems a little bit exaggerate, but let's let it sink in the fact that some people who I like hadn't seen in a long time still thought I was Christian months after deconverting. Um and my most specific memory of this was a guy that I dated before I became Christian who originally broke up with me fucking 3 days after I started dating him because he was bored of me. That guy ended up saying, "Oh, I converted to Christianity. I changed. Please get back with me." And I'm just like, "Bitch, get out of here." Because I know that number one, that guy did not convert to Christianity. Because I saw that same guy dating that quote unquote Christian Catholic ex. I don't even think I said his name. But I mean, honestly, he's got his ways, so I don't think I want to. Daniel doesn't, though. Daniel, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry, but you've got the intelligence of a goddamn deformed ape. I hate to break it to you, but you do. I'm sorry. Well, I mean, I'd say social intelligence. I actually have no idea how IQ smart the guy is, but he's socially dumb. I can say that with confidence. Anyway, enough of me ranting about that. So yeah, and do you want to know what's funny? After I deconverted from Christianity and after I discovered pantheism, my mental health seemed like it instantly improved. I'm not even kidding. Like, fucking years of Christianity left me more suicidal than I was before it. But just less than a month of pantheism made me completely stop being suicidal. Pantheism healed me so much to the point where my therapist took my diagnosis of major depressive disorder off my record because I didn't show enough symptoms anymore. Let that sink in. Christianity for a year made me more suicidal. Pantheism in less than a month took all of that away. Why are motorcycles so loud? I'm sorry if you could hear the background noise of the motorcycle driving near my house. I swear to God, people with an intentionally loud motorcycle can suck my fucking non-existent nuts because what the fuck? Anyway, let me shut my yapper about that. And honestly, I'd like to go on a little tangent about how I discovered pantheism in the first place. It's actually very simple. So I discovered pantheism through the subliminals community. I'm not even kidding. Like, I had discovered subliminals in manifesting, and I realized that there was the reoccurring theme of the universe in a lot of them. And I'm like, people keep talking about how the universe is bringing your manifestations and whatnot, and universe is controlling reality and whatever. Wouldn't that make the universe a god? So I went to my lovely friend Google, Reddit, other online forums, all that razzle bedazzle, and I'm like, oh, this actually has a name. It's called pantheism. And then I'm like, oh, so basically, I'm a pantheist. Because, I mean, honestly, just a little context note, I've always believed there's some kind of higher power. I've never been a true atheist. I've literally never been a true atheist. Even if I've said I was in the past, I probably wasn't deep down. I've always been a deist, my whole life. But now I actually know what fucking God is there. The universe. Mother Universe herself. So I'd like to give a nice shout out to Mother Universe for single-handedly saving my goddamn life. And not only that, but like literally like just a couple of weeks after I deconverted from Christianity, I got my whole fucking personality back. Just with an added chunk of deep ass lore. And you know we love some fucking lore and trauma on this fuck ass podcast. You know it, baby. But yeah. So if I were to put it in a timeline of significant events, it would go like this. Me tries to kill myself a bunch of times and I'm really suicidal and I just want to get off this fucking planet or take the pain away. Then I hear about the gospel on TikTok. Then I convert. Then I fall into the trad wife trap and go fucking boy crazy. Then I start scouting fucking boys in youth group like my life depends on it. Then I find one. A 17-year-old fucking pervert. I date that bitch for a month. Then I finally break up with him because I'm just fed up. Then I go single for just a bit. Then I date the other guy, which is unnamed. We date for like a couple of months. He breaks up with me on my 16th fucking birthday. I lose faith. I eventually deconvert. I sit as a deist for like a month or two. Discover subliminals and manifesting. Discovered pantheism. And then like less than a month after I discover pantheism and start truly believing in it, I am basically fucking healed like a goddamn miracle. I'm not even kidding. It was an actual miracle. And then I discovered Hellenic polytheism, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm gonna worship those. I'm gonna worship some of those Greek gods because they're cool. And now I'm talking into a fucking cheap microphone to say this. Yep. That's my religion. My whole entire experience of it. From my religious trauma that I fucking self-inflicted to what I believe in. Why did I have such a fucking long pause from that? I don't know. There's probably a lot of really unnecessary pauses in this fucking podcast. Whatever. Let me shut my yapper. And this brings me to the end of the episode. And a desperate need for a fucking drink. Of water, dumbass! Actually, it's not gonna be water. It's gonna be Monster because fuck water! But yeah. I need a drink. So I'm gonna shut my yapper. Thanks for tuning in to Dumpster Fire Philosophy. Chaotic wisdom from a complete dumbass. God damn it, I forgot my own motto! Whatever. That just makes it funnier, okay? Trust. This is totally in the script. It's totally not like most of this episode past like the first couple of minutes was unscripted or anything and I'm just fucking yapping, okay? I need to take my meds.